Hello, everybody. Welcome back to CLX Foundry Live. I'm your host, DJ Blue PDX, and I'm joined right now by our lead technical expert. It is none other than Paul Steffens and our master builder, and that's Zach Killingsworth. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. All right. So we've got some fun things to do today. We're building something for somebody who's from someplace. However, we do want to talk about the fact that we're going to announce a winner today. Not right now, but a winner. And there's going to be a winner who actually is going to be able to win the CLX Horus desktop gaming PC. It is an NV Black. It is our MS Tech and Star Citizen giveaway. And it's fantastic. Not only do you get a PC with an NV5 build, you've also got an i7 14700KF, you've got a liquid cooler, you've got an incredible motherboard, you've got a terabyte of M.2, 32 gigs of RAM, a RTX 4060 Ti. It's fantastic. Plus, and here's the cool thing, you not only get all of that, you also get the flight chair with the RSI Tempest. You get the 2 different joysticks and HOTAS chair mounts for the Warbirds. You get 2 swivel quick release mounts and 2 mouse extensions for desk mounting. Plus, you get 4 different ships in Star Citizen. That is the RSI Constellation, Phoenix, the Scorpius, the Ursa Rover, and the Aurora MR. And then from Virpil, you're going to be getting 2 Alpha Prime grips. There's the left one and the right one. You're also going to get the flight stick base for the Warbird, and you're going to get the Warbird rudder pedals. Now, if you are a fan of Star Citizen, I'm going to be very honest. This is one of those things where you're going to definitely hope that you win. I wish I could win. And if you win and you don't want it, I will personally take it off your hands for you for the low cost of 10 cents. So with that being said, gentlemen, we have a project in front of our faces, and I would love to know who it's for.
This is for Janelle in Iowa.
Janelle in Iowa, what's she putting in this giant beast of a box?
All right, so they have configured a Horus off our website. This is the AMD Advanced Premium version. So starting out with our processor, we've got an AMD Ryzen 9 7950X. To cool that, we've got the Corsair H150 Elite LCD. This is a 360 AIO down there at the bottom. It does have a really nice pump on it, and it comes in black. Our motherboard for this build is going to be an ASRock X670E Tai Chi. Look at this thing. I mean, it's even got like a little brochure flap on there. It looks great. We'll get into that here in a little bit.
Is it Tai Chi or Taichi?
I always say Tai Chi, but I could be wrong.
I think there's an extra I in there. I believe it's Taichi. It's like Daiichi from the Fukushima.
Okay.
I thought it was Tai Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever taken Tai Chi?
We're going to be in Zen mode during this one.
Right, there we go.
All right, so going on to our memory, we've got 2 sticks of XPG 16 gigabyte DDR5 6000 speed. This is the black version with the RGB heat spreaders. And for our storage, we've got a 1 terabyte Samsung 990 Pro NVMe drive, very fast M.2 drive there. For our case, we obviously have the NV5 in black. And for our case fans, we've got 8 of our Game DS Aeolus M3s. And last but not least, our power supply. We've got the MSI Mag 850 watt 80 plus gold fully modular.
Nice. All right, we do have some comments coming in. By the way, if you have questions about anything that you hear from our experts or from me about things that we might say, comment on, or describe or discuss, please feel free to ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. I will do my best to keep track of all the chats at once. 0980, hello, I see you over on Twitter. What's going on? Over on the TikTok side, Shadow Sorceress is much more of a fan of AMD. I appreciate that. But I will tell you this, Shadow Sorceress, I have a 13900KF and a 3090 OC, 64 gigs of DDR5 6000. And I can get that thing to run on Ultra at 1440p at about 90 FPS. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like the Intel's the bad rate. I feel like everybody's got a personal opinion on it. That being said, let's jump over to our green side. They got Tony T-Rex up there with Double G
Tony
and
T.
Nasira plus you Tony T. Raven is epic. Gager Raiders in the house. We got Pinkson. Hi, Pinkson. Kid Bimo. Jay-Z Rock. What's up?
J-Rock.
Hello.
J-Rock and the Rock.
Yeah. Heavy Camp Sherm. The purple side. Wow, there's a whole lot of people. We've got I9 M9A. We've got Physics. We've got Cam Free. Zulu Charlie's in the house. Hollow Panther. Gore to Huncho. Welcome to the show, my dude. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Bearded fellow, my bruh. There we are. Ariel Light, Cammy, Venom. Love to see you. So glad to have you all here. Queso Goblins in the house. Hello, my darling. How are you?
Queso.
Only floofy foxes. I love that. Ariel Light. And I'm tired of being up because I'm. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. Ariel Light says, man, I'm so tired. Laugh out loud. Been up since early because had a tornado warning at 4:30 a.m. Roof was leaking this damn storm. Oh
sucks.
my God. I'm so sorry. That is relatively freaking terrible. I'm so sorry.
Where are you at with the tornado warning? We're in Kansas, so we're familiar with that.
Let's go with that.
I didn't hear of anything last night, at least not in our local area. We were supposed to get some storms this weekend, though.
I'm excited to go fishing.
Hell. Oh, yeah. Any specific fish you're fishing for, or just anything?
Catfish, so
Catfish.
I can deep cat frying.
Yes, that's my favorite to go fishing for.
Oh, man, I love me some catfish. Catfish is some good stuff. I'm rolling through all the comments. Apparently, I missed like a bajillion. No, wait.
You got that right, Dirty Yankee.
Nope, DJ, if you don't want to give it to my nephew. There we go. Bryce is in the house. Wimmy's in the house. Hello, welcome to the show. Jix Too Toxic. Or just call it Jixie Toxic. There you go. I feel like you make moonshine for kicks and giggles. Flurby, Pagan, Dirty Yankee. Welcome in, everybody. So, first things first, let's take a look at what this is. Now, this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is the very first time we've done an X670E Taichi or Taichi, but I believe it's Taichi. It is, first of all, let's take a look at the design. The back panel alone is breathtakingly gorgeous. Now, granted, do you often see the back panel? No, but if you know that it's there, guess what? That makes it cool. Let's take a look up at that I/O shield because I want to see what we've got on this as I pull it up right now. There we go. So on the rear I/O panel, we've got obviously our two buttons up top. Then you've got your two antennas there for your Wi-Fi. Down below there, now this is where it gets funky. You've got two USB 4 Type-C. Wait, where? Nope, that's the wrong ones. You have 5 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A's. They're 10 gigs, redrivers. And then you've got 2 Lightning gaming ports with Ultra USB power, and I believe those are the yellows that we've got up there. Yep. You've got your 2.5 gig LAN port, and then you've got your 3 USB 3.2 Gen 1s. You have 2 USB 4 Type-C ports with your 40 gigs. That is 20 gigs up, 20 gigs down. You want to talk about some slick stuff? That's where you get it. That's some super speed. And then, of course, we've got our line out jacks, our microphone out jack, and that's about what we've got. Plus, we've got your IR. But nice! That thing is hot. Now, I want to ask Zach, because you can actually stand there and take a look at it. Let's take a look at that Southbridge heat sink. That looks very steampunk awesome.
Oh, yes.
What do you think?
Oh, yes.
What is it?
I know on older models of the Taichi that the gears would spin. I don't know if on this one they do, but they usually have some pretty cool like clockwork engineering done on these boards to make them extra shiny.
I always think it's like the inside of a watch.
Yeah.
You know, I really like it.
All right, over on the red side, we got X-Heads in the house. What up, dude? Been a minute. PKTV's here. We got Yuki. Hello. Libby's dad. Over on the Facebook side. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. We've got Big 27 Gaming in the house. What up? Welcome. Glad to have you all here. Let's see here. On DJ, I did the test bundle with my GTX 1070 in Fortnite and Apex. Oh, how did it come out? Apex was a lot smoother. Fortnite ran at 30 max. All right. Well, I mean, at least there's a thing to go with. I mean, let's be fair. We did kind of learn at 30 FPS for a long time. I don't know if you can see my message on YouTube. Oh, what up, Exit? Hello. I don't think I got the whole thing. Burnt 2 of them out too fast. Welcome in, my dude. Good to see you. All right, so gentlemen, we've got to actually put some power into this motherboard because obviously it's going to have to run with something. And so in his hand right now is our processor. This is an AMD Ryzen 9 7950X. And this is a 4.5 gigahertz 16 core. Paul, talk to us about this processor. How is this different from, say, some of the other X3Ds?
Yeah, so this is still top of the line processor from AMD here. It's a 16 core, 32 thread with a base speed of 4.5, and it will boost all the way up to 5.7. So this, like I said, this is a high-end proc. It's going to be able to handle anything you throw at it.
Let's see here. Jay Goody over here says, damn, I'd love to build a PC with all new top quality parts. Well, buddy, I'm going to tell you what, you head over to clxgaming.com. We can help make that happen.
Oops.
And we have payment plans. All right, so good question coming up from Schwerm. Schwerm or Sherm? I'm going to call you Schwerm. There we go. It's like shawarma, but better. So is north/south bridge architecture still used? I thought that was something special for an older generation. Is that just referring to the chipsets as south bridge?
Yes, that is
Good
right.
question.
It is referring to the chipsets on the board. So it's been a while since I've looked into it. I knew a lot more about it back in the day. But yeah, it's your chipset.
Aerial Light, what's up? Good to see you. Oh my goodness. I
Just
wish.
practicing.
Supposedly there is
some reps
an
in.
area of concern in the same spot as Debbie that people are looking at. I don't know if we can take more rain though. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. I missed something. Who's in Florida right now? Because my gosh.
Florida.
Like that is a little bit nuts over there. A little bit nuts. Going back up top. Let's see. When will you announce the winners? Frederick. You know what? We're going to announce the winners during the show. And I'm going to guess that since I'm not announcing it now, it's probably not right now. But I'll get there. Don't you worry. Shrooms has got a leak of word hurricane plus tornadoes. Yeah. Yo, I don't know if you've ever talked with Scott Wins one from my community and from here. His family went through the same thing, and they're still fixing stuff. Where else can I watch? Twitch. See, we are broadcasting right now live on kick.com/CLXgaming, twitch.tv/CLXgamingTV. We're on CLX Gaming on YouTube, TikTok,
Instagram,
Twitter, and Facebook. So you can choose any of those to like pop into in case you need different performance. Yeah. Fried catfish. Oh my God. Cajun catfish.
Yeah.
One of the best things I ever loved about living, like whenever I'd go down for the summers, my grandparents in the South down in Texas, we'd drive down to Louisiana, and they had friends that had a little, it was a little restaurant shack on the bayou. And it was my first time I ever had gator. Oh my gosh. I had gator jambalaya that to this day has never been met. And it was the most amazing thing I've ever eaten. It's a great thing. My grandmother used to catch catfish in the lake behind her. And yeah, that's why I love catfish. You've been to Louisiana once? No, I've been to Louisiana about...
It's thicker.
12, 13 times? Yeah. Now, speaking of things that are thicker, let's talk about this thick cooling option. This solution is brought to you by Corsair. It's an IQ H150i Elite LCD XT. It's a 360 closed loop cooler. Paul, what the hell does that mean?
That means this is an AIO all-in-one. The 360 refers to the size of the radiator, so this right here. And the AIO all-in-one, that means this comes out of the box, coolant in it, pretty much ready to go. So it's got a few different bags of hardware for all the different chips on the motherboard, so you just want to make sure you grab the right one. We have an AM5 socket, so we're going to be using the AM5 hardware. And after that, it's pretty easy to do, minus some of these pesky peels that sometimes don't come off in one piece. So Zach's working his way through that one.
Speaking of things that don't come off in one piece, let's talk about Merc with a mouth. Hi, buddy. I identify with this because I'm ex-Navy. So it says, hey, have you guys done a micro build? I work out at sea a lot and need something I can take with me and keep the space usage small.
Oh yeah, we've got plenty of ITX options. They're really small. They're our Scarab line. And with those, you can still get the high-end hardware in them. So just because it's small doesn't mean it's not powerful. So that is definitely an option you can do. Just go to our website and look at our Scarabs.
Hold on. I'm gonna feel really bad because I feel like I spelled one of my notes Janelle's name wrong. Over on the Facebook side, Janelle Ghost is in the house, and this is her build. She says, this build is a gift from my husband. I truly appreciate you all building him such a great machine. Fabulous work.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we're happy to do it.
It's going to be fun.
He picked an awesome build, so.
If you want the boys to sign the case on the inside, they can do that as well. But yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. Thank you so much for choosing Steelix Gaming. So Merc with the mouth, the only thing that I would suggest, especially from having been on ship before there was a lot of solid states, make sure that everything's either M.2 or solid state that way, because anytime you rock, even if you've got it strapped down, there's, you've got the force. I know on destroyers, like as soon as we hit DC, we're like, Burp.
So many bags.
I don't know if you can see him. Yes, I see him. Oh, wait, X said WQ and then win. Hope I won. Hello. Fury. Hello. Okay, awesome. There you go. Jay Goody says, damn. But I'd love to build a PC with all new quality parts. You know what? Listen, we got it. We got it handled. Coming down lower, we got Wingser. Hiya. What's going on? Over on TikTok, Jaden says, are you building a PC? Yes, we is. Hello. What's going on? And so, which stable speed can you get out of that Taichi? Asked Corky Q.
Like
Is that for RAM, or are you speaking for processor?
I'm assuming probably being processor. So with that, obviously depends on the processor you get and the lucky chance of the bin. But yeah, this has a lot of overclocking capability on it.
Oh, for the RAM. So Quirky's asking about the RAM.
For the RAM. I believe it's probably up to 6,000 speed right now, but yeah. That might update once we get faster DDR5 speeds.
All right, speaking of faster DDR5 speeds, we got 2 sticks, 16 gigs each of ADATA's XPG DDR5 6000. I have 4 of these in mine, and this is an incredible 32 gigs is fantastic, especially with the speed on this thing. XPG looks great in the bin, on the board, and it's fantastic. But Paul, in case somebody doesn't understand why it is you're just not using the first 2 channels, why is that?
Yeah.
Why are we going 2-4 first instead of 1-3?
Yeah, so we're filling slot 2 and 4 because that is what our motherboard manual says to do on this board. So most motherboard manuals, when you've got 4 slots of memory and 2 sticks that you're installing, you're going to be using slot 2 and 4, just so you're taking advantage of the dual channel on the motherboard. Nice.
Lord Serpentine, or Seppenstein. Lord Seppenstein. I'm sorry, I saw that and started thinking Serpentine, and instead of remembering what it was like trying to work on my old force. It says, good day. Hello. Yes. The Cookie Killer's over here on the purple side says, hey, Blue. Sorry I've been missing your streams. I had a rough couple of weeks. Oh, dear God. That is a lot, my friend. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm glad you're back here now at 113 according to your truck. Look.
Wow.
Anytime there's 113 degrees in anything, all I want to do is hide in a bathtub. So for those of you who don't know why I wasn't on, speaking of things that are on, we're going to put something on this motherboard. And this is going to be our operating system drive, and that is a 1 terabyte Samsung 990 Pro. That is what I have in mind for my operating system. These things are great. Now, it's an M.2, which looks different than, say, a solid-state drive or even a hard disk drive. Paul, what's the difference?
Yeah, so a solid-state drive means there's no moving parts inside of there. So back in the day, we had our 3.5-inch mechanical hard disk drives. Those actually had moving parts inside of them, and that's why the load times were slower. So when we started going to SSDs or solid-state drives, they're just so much faster than those old traditional hard drives that it's great to use for your operating system and any games that you want to put on there. That being said, those old drives are great options for secondary storage, so you can have a big library. They're relatively cheap, so it's a good way to get a bunch of extra storage, but I'd always recommend at least having your operating system on an SSD.
Speaking of having things on SSDs, what's that thing he's putting on top of that little hard drive?
Yes, that is our M.2 cover, kind of like a heat shield as well. This board has a lot of those incorporated in, so it provides a really good aesthetic, and it's going to keep that M.2 drive nice and cool.
We got Titan Desk Mat says, show us the desk mats. Oh, okay. Him says, yo, over on Twitter, show us the desk mat. I mean, I don't have one with me, but I can certainly go get one. I know exactly where they're. I have 11 of them. We got a question coming in from Tamar Barlev. When will the winners be announced? Well, I'll tell you what, it's not going to be right now, but it'll be soon. So stick around, hang out, have fun. Henry P. over on the TikTok side has a great question. Got a 4070 Ti. What's the best CPU I can get?
Well, the 4080 Ti, you're at the high end there, so I would go with i7, i9, Ryzen 7, Ryzen 9. Anything within those families is going to pair well with that.
Southern Brit mentioned on the purple side, I'm hoping I win. I built my first computer years ago, and now I have a young baby and no time or money to build a newer one. Well, I understand that. I mean, I don't because I don't have kids. But, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I wonder how bad those high-speed PCIe 5 M.2s feel when you stack them in a pancake on a motherboard rather than using their heat sink spreader. Good question, Swarm. Paul?
Yeah, I haven't messed with any of those enough to see how hot they get. They definitely are going to get hotter than their previous generations, but you should not be stacking them on top of each other.
I hear you on that, Jimmy. The big tree was it says I'm adopting DJ as my papa. Now you can say you understand. Please bring the milk and cigs home. I'm on my way, son, and I'm picking up pasta. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Like honestly, everybody, I would love to win this PC if I could, but I can't because I'm not allowed. PJ mentions over on the TikTok side, I have a 4090. How long would you wait to upgrade?
Many more years. If I had a 4090,
Yeah.
you got plenty of life left in that thing.
Yeah, I have a 3090, and I figure I'll probably upgrade to a 50 because I'm at 30 right now. But yeah, Henry P says, does my Ryzen 5 7800X bottleneck my 4070 Ti?
Ryzen 5 7800X, I believe, would be a Ryzen 7, unless we're got some miscommunication going on. But yeah, it's going to pair well. You said 4070 Ti?
Yeah, Ryzen 7 5800X.
Oh, 5800X with a 4070 Ti?
Yeah.
Yeah,
correct.
that's a pretty good combination right there. That you've got plenty of years left with that hardware. That Ryzen 5800X is a great processor. It is, a couple years old now, but I think you got plenty of life left, and that's a good combination.
Speaking of combinations, let's talk about I'm a Rock over on the purple side. Says, how do you know what drivers to download when you get a new PC?
That's a good question. So if you get a PC through us, all that stuff is all taken care of. You're going to turn on your PC when you get it home from us, and it's going to be right at your Windows screen ready to go. If you're building one on your own and you need to download your drivers, the best way to do it now, since we don't have optical drives anymore, where you get the nice CD from the component maker, and you just load them in that way. So the best way to do it now is to get like a flash drive and download them from the manufacturer's website. So if you were building this PC at home, you had the same board, you'd want to go to ASRock's website, look up this motherboard, the X670E Taichi, and there'll be drivers there that you can download and put them on a thumb drive and move them over. And then as soon as you get an internet connection, Windows is pretty good about finding all those drivers anyways. So it's changed quite a bit from back in the day.
Cookie Killer's over here like, way to brag there, Blue. Fries and no downtime because I have 2 kids and a home and they'll deliver a size of CVS receipt. Listen, buddy, as somebody who was a nanny, I had my time with children. I'm just glad that I can leave them with their parents at the end of the day. Deadshot over on the green side says, hello! Love my PC. Deadshot in the house!
What's up, Deadshot?
Let's go.
Glad to see you.
I dig it a lot. Emmanuel Zulo on the Facebook side. Goran Mar. Hi, how are you? Let's see here. Let's jump back up here. I saw they took off the fans that came with the cooler and putting on different fans. This is from Bites 27 Gaming. Mm-hmm. How do you feel?
Yeah, so this customer picked the GameDS Aeolus M3 fans for their build, so that's why we did that. And this way, all the fans will match inside the build as well.
So I got a quick question coming in from... Oh, hello.
Hello.
There we go. It is for Quixify. Says, is it better to test if a PC is working out before putting the motherboard in the case or after?
If you are skeptical of it working or not, it's easiest to do it outside. You can just plug your power supply without it even installed. You can just plug it in and then plug everything into your motherboard and test it that way. But for brand new parts, I'm typically comfortable throwing it all together. I spent like an hour and a half messing with the system this morning. That was I completely rebuilt the whole system in a new case because I thought the case wiring was the issue and it wasn't. So I probably should have done that on that, but oh well.
Good question coming in here from Just asks, do you guys use Windows OEM keys or retail keys?
I'd have to get back to you on that. We activate them within our testing process because a lot of that stuff is injected now into the motherboard, so it's kind of tied to your hardware. But there's a bunch of different copies of Windows 11 as well. It's not just like Home and Pro. There's a whole bunch of little variations in there now that depend on the hardware. So
let's see here.
they're all versions of like either Home or Pro, but there's all these different designations in there.
So Merc with a Mouth asks, is there honestly a big difference between Intel and AMD processors, or does it really just come down to specs? I'm going to go with my opinion, and I'm not the professional here. I game with Intel, but I produce with AMD. So my production PC that I use for streaming and piping all the DJ stuff through, that's all done on an AMD. I game with Intel and NVIDIA. So that's my personal choice. Paul, how do you think this question should be handled?
Yeah, so current day, right now, they're very similar. Like you said, look at the specs and see what you're wanting to do with it. Make sure it lines up. But AMD and Intel are both producing great processors right now. A lot has changed, so it's good. You can't really go wrong nowadays. King Douglas, thank you for the sub.
I am about like 20 messages behind on the purple side, so everybody give me a second on the other platforms to get these through. What makes an AMD X3D so special?
That is a great question. So the 3D version of the AMD processors, that means they've come up with a new way of storing their cache on top of the processor, which is like the small amount of memory that the processor has actually on the die. And so they have stacked it on top of the die. So that's where the 3D comes from, which gives them a larger surface area so that they can fit more on there.
Nice. I am 9MA says, bro, my brother bought a laptop. It's an i9 14900HX. It's 4070, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, a terabyte SSD, and he got it for around $2,000 just for it to go on sale 30% literally the next day.
Rough.
That sucks. Oh, that's unfortunate right there. Let's see here. Koi Stroud Scarlett says Ryzen 9 5900X with an RTX 3050 and 32 gigs of DDR4 is fine for me. You dang right. I completely agree. So Merc mentioned I was always informed to stay Intel i7 and up for gaming purposes.
Yeah, so that may have been more valid, back in the day, but the i5s Intel's putting out are really great at gaming. It all depends on what you're going to be doing. Are you going to be playing in 1080, 2K, 4K, all that stuff? Now, most of that is more dependent on your video card than your processor, but, obviously your processor comes into play quite a bit. But no, the i5s are great.
Yep. So, the Pereza asked a good question. How often should maintenance be done on a PC and the liquid cooling? Well, my question is, I need just a little bit more identification. Is it an open loop or closed loop liquid cooling system? That's the big key. Paul?
So for maintenance on your system, if you have an AIO like what we have here, these aren't going to require any maintenance at all. These AIOs last an incredibly long time. They're going to last longer than the hardware inside of this. That being said, for the open loops, typically you're going to do some sort of maintenance on it about once a year. There's always a little bit of air that's in those systems that just nobody can get out until the system's just been running for a really long time. And so you might have to add some fluid to it or do something like that.
Nice. King Douglas over here with that resub high. Corky Cube mentions my last build was DDR2 with an Intel Q6550. Wow, and a Radeon XFX 4890 in a CM Storm Scout case for LAN parties. I bought everything from NCIX before they shuttered. Well, I feel like that's got some legs to it. Let's see here. Swarm also asks, also curious about how much maintenance custom loop is always assumed closed loops were good until they died. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Junior's Warrior, we haven't announced the winner yet, but we will. We're planning on it. Don't you worry. It's all here. That board is beautiful. Oh, what board is this? This is the Taichi. This is actually an ASRock X670E Taichi. It's an EATX. Some people want to call it Taichi. I call it Taichi. You know, there's different ways.
Tomato.
Yep.
Tamagotchi.
Mr. Ant says, what kind of task would you perform if you win the giveaway? Let me know, and I'll tell you what I do.
I'd
Wait,
play
what?
video games on mine if I won it. That's what I would do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be playing with those
Joysticks?
sticks and rudder pedals. That'd be awesome.
I'd be calling into work daily. Sorry, I can't fly in today. The roads are too rough.
I don't want to do the work today. I don't really want to go and do the work today. Bushy Tree mentions for the very first message, only use flash drives for flashing BIOS if needed to boot. Once in Windows, navigate to the manufacturer. Yes, we know. Absolutely correct, Bushy. I would use a PC to stream Fortnite. There we go.
Thanks.
I was the Hype Zone Live shoutcaster for Fortnite forever. Let's see here. Why? Subventional Shadow asked an instant question. Why did CLX decide to go with privately branded AIOs?
So we are not tied to any specific brand here at CLX. So that allows us to go with whatever brand that we want to. So that's why we have a whole bunch of different brands of AIOs.
Over on the green side, Gauge Raider says, I have a 1440p monitor and a 3070, but worry about frames. Should I just game at 1080?
Depending on the game, you'd be able to do a lot at that 1440. You know, all your basic games and stuff like that. You might, games like Cyberpunk and stuff like that, you might have to play in 1080 to keep a high frame rate. But 3070 is still a pretty beast of a card.
There we go. Yes, and make sure you join the CLX Discord if you've got major questions. That is always a plus. Going through my stream, I'm not missing anything. This PC is crazy. Yes, it is, Jakes. Fingers crossed, says Magyan. Magyan Salo. I think I just ruined your name. I'm so sorry. You're gonna use this PC for business and streaming? Nice. I love it. I love it. I love it a lot. Yeah, I started replaying some of the Star Wars games just for poops and giggles, and it was really fun. Good question coming in from PJ over on the TikTok side. Have you ever shorted out a motherboard?
Oh yeah, it has happened. Hasn't happened in a while, but yep, certainly have done it.
Over on the Twitter side, Titan Desk Matt says the cooling fluid is not for drinking. This is correct.
True.
Hebov says I will retire my 6700K to play smoother Star Citizen. Hopefully.
There you go.
There you go. Winners already announced. Not yet. New Deck Gaming. You'll know because we'll put a pinned post in the top of each of the chats here. It'll be great. Now, one of the things that Zach is doing right here is he's utilizing not just zip ties, but also the Velcro straps. Zach, what are the Velcro straps for, and how are they helpful when you're creating like cable management?
So some cases have little eyelets. Some cases have like these Velcro straps with some plastic ribs in them. They just help you to organize and tie down all of your cables. And Fantex here uses the plastic strap, or the plastic rib with the Velcro strap. And that makes it super nice because then we can poke out exactly where we need to and have a really nice, clean looking tie-up.
Nice. Let's see here. Infernal Rum mentions, yes, so there is a certain batch. It was talking about the 13th and 14th gen PC, CPUs that are having some issues periodically, but that's not constant. It's batch based. Thank you, Bilko. Scott wins. Much love, dude. He's been moving furniture all weekend long. He's just exhausted. So today, instead of going and doing a group game, I'm going to be playing Assassin's Creed Mirage and continuing on that adventure.
Hello?
All right, Gage Raider's got a great question over here on the green side. It says, if I have a 1440p monitor and a 3070, should I worry about frames so should I just game at 1080?
It
Option.
just depends on what game you're playing. Yeah, 3070 is going to be able to handle a lot of games still at high frame rates, but it just depends on what you're playing. I would just try to run it at the highest resolution, and if you don't like the frame rate, then lower it down.
Yeah. Henry asks, if I'm to get a monitor, what makes a good 1440p monitor? What should I be looking for?
So what you want to look at there is first off the refresh rate. So, you know, it used to be 144 would be the lowest I would go. I think pretty much everything is at like 165 hertz and up right now. So just look at the frame rate next. Then after that, you know, you're going to look at which panel you want and all that good stuff. But resolution and refresh rate are the two specs that I look at. And then the rest is just kind of whatever you want.
The other thing that you want to take a look at is the game's optimization. So if the game is optimized for, and I'm going to use this as an example, Rainbow Six Siege is optimized for 4K. I get less frames at 1080 and 1440 than I do at 4K. And that's on Ultra. So if the game is optimized for a specific resolution, going with that as your native resolution is probably more advisable. So definitely take a look into that. Star Citizen is not optimized. It is a work in progress, my friend. Go for an OLED monitor, also G-Sync compatible. Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know what G-Sync or FreeSync is, Paul, what are those?
Yeah, so that's referring to the, like, it solves screen tearing is what it does. So I have G-Sync on my monitor at home because I've got an NVIDIA card. G-Sync is NVIDIA proprietary, and then you have FreeSync, which is AMD's version of that. So it's just a way to prevent screen tearing when you're looking around a lot, keeps everything nice and smooth. It is definitely a good option. If you can go with one, yeah, it is nice.
And Henry also asked a similar question, like, if I go to get a monitor, what makes a good 1440p monitor? What should I get? I'm going to be honest, look at the FPS. If you can get a minimum 144, I would say go to 240, but a minimum of 144 hertz on that monitor. Let's see. PJ asks, what games are you guys excited for? And did you guys try Wild Assault Beta? I did not try the Wild Assault Beta. I've been working on another game, ironically, because it's one of the games that I have two different playable characters in the game. So we've been going through and redubbing lines and all sorts of fun things. With that said, gentlemen, how about you?
Yeah, I've been playing a ton of PoE Path of Exile recently on the new league. It's been a lot of fun. It's my first time playing it, been having a blast. So PoE 2 is coming out, so excited for that. And then next year, Monster Hunter. That's probably the game I'm most hyped about.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Stormy's a little confused. Stormy says, confused when monitors and games let me enable both FreeSync and G-Sync on an Intel Plus NVIDIA build. Don't know what they do, but I must have all the buttons on. I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah, if you have G-Sync turned on, which can be in like your NVIDIA control panel, like the display properties from your desktop, you know, you want to have your game's FreeSync setting turned off. Now, sometimes it will depend across the game, but that's what I always do with my G-Sync monitor.
Listen, Big Sumreel over on the Twitter side says, more hype for Monster Hunter than GTA 6?
Oh, yeah.
What?
GTA 6 win, never.
The game that by the way, PJ, to answer your question, the game I'd be most excited for is if Halo ever got Griffball working again. Okay, there we go. Glad GTA 6 is going to be a hit? Yes. Have you ever made a Frankenstein and shocked it even booted? Define shocked. And but while we're figuring that out, the question that came in from the Bilko is, do I play a lot of games and how much FPS? So Bilko, here's what I've got. With my system, I play a lot of FPS. Whether it is, I mean, it used to be just a lot of Halo, but now it's Rainbow Six Siege. It is Dying Light, Dying Light 2. We've also got like multiple other things, everything from the Scare Ritual to any of the ghost and horror games, Resident Evils and whatnots. I love those. The only championship title I have in the world is for Griffball, and there we go. Has it been announced already? Dead in Tokyo. Did you just get here? Welcome in the chat, my dude. Well, you know what? It'll happen eventually. Go play War Thunder. We have tanks and secret documents. Heck yeah! About Dying Light last night? No. Wait, maybe, possibly, probably, perhaps.
DJ, I thought there was a video game that you were gonna get on board and start playing and go through.
Yeah,
it and
Baldur's
do the
Gate. I was gonna do
deals. No, I thought you were gonna get onto the Elden Ring circuit.
Yeah.
What was that?
Huh?
No. Elden Ring's got way too much farming that has to be done. But yeah, no, I was
Just
going to be
get
playing
good.
Baldur's Gate today, but Scott's sick, and so Scott is tired, and he's moving furniture, so I'm going to go back to AC Mirage. Halo 3 was peak for Halo. You know, sort of. It depends on what you were looking for Halo. And I think when it comes to storyline, those first 3 games were absolutely epic. Reach made you definitely cry a little bit. ODST was awesome, but terrifying. However, for me, when it comes to the evolution of Griffball, because those of you who don't like, my very first gaming event was with RTX, which was with Rooster Teeth, because I was shoutcasting the World Griffball Championships. Halo 4's Griffball was absolutely the best. You could toss the ball. You had the hammer effects done correctly. Everything was great. Halo 5, you couldn't throw the ball, which was stupid, but it was still good. You had the slide, and of course the pro leagues just we pulled all the extra crap out. Then for Infinite, despite all of the insider talk of, yes, we've got it, it's going to happen, here's the things, what are we looking for, what should we set things at, blah, 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 and then nothing happened. Halo 4 multiplayer is underrated. I agree. One of some of my best friends that I ever met were on the Halo 4 multiplayer, because when you were in lobbies, you had you see your cards up there. You could talk to people. People would just like talk smack, but you'd also meet good friends. It was great stuff. Now, you know what else is great stuff? I know. The other thing that's really, really great stuff is when you pull out a power supply that is something that we call modular. This is an 850 watt MSI Mag A850GL. It is a 80 plus gold. Paul, what does it mean when I say modular? Why is it different than others? What other types are there? And how cool is this?
So this is fully modular. What that means is none of the cables are pre-soldered in. You can see we just got the power supply brick right here. And we've got a bag of all of our cables. So what this does is allow us to use less cables in the build, which makes everything look cleaner, makes your tie-up a little bit easier. So we'll get these cables out, and what we'll do is I'll go through these cables, grab the ones that we need for this build. The extras will be in the accessories bag. That way if the customer ever needs them later on down the road, they got them. And Halo 3 is the last good Halo. I said it.
Leon McJunkin says, what do y'all think of the Halo show? Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. There are ways in which to bring life to a franchise that has been a video game already. There are ways to do it that stays canon, ensures that the fan base who's been sharing information, sharing their fascination with Halo with multiple different groups of people, different generations. But if you stay true, then everybody's involved. They went so far out of left field with that storyline, it was ridiculous. Then, nothing about it was Halo. And as somebody who's read every single Halo book, yes, I'm that kind of nerd, it was, yeah. But don't get me wrong. I get it. They tried it. Hopefully, it's if they do it again, or if another studio buys the rights to it, then they can do it correctly.
When we talk about Borderlands this morning.
Oh, yeah,
We were talking about Borderlands this morning.
Yeah, that's a little bit wild. Christopher Robin. Corky did mention something. I wasn't aware that had been announced publicly yet, so I'm just going to say this because I don't want to read what you said. Corky Cute says Christopher Nolan is in talks to take over the Halo franchise. I feel like he would do the Lord justice. Neil Blomkamp would have been the best. And on both of those statements, I fully agree. Yeah. Yeah, if anything Nolan's involved with, I'm down. From what I've heard, the Borderlands movie has a 0% in Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. And we have not announced the winner yet, people. Don't you worry. Going back over here, Windows Funny, Drivers Funny. What do you think of the Halo? Yeah, yes. Well, and see, here's the thing. You can tell when Halo was done correctly because we had Forward Unto Dawn right before Halo 4. That was epic. That was awesome. I loved that. But yeah, fingers crossed. Now, I'll tell you what is also fun that I love. I love Radeon XTXs. This is an AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX. 24 gigs of RAM in that baby. Paul, tell me a little bit about the cool things for this card.
Let's see here. This card is fresh off the truck. We weren't sure if we were going to build this one today because the card that we did have ended up failing. So we got this one fresh in today. This is from Sapphire RX 7900 XTX. Pretty much top of the line Radeon card right here. We'll go ahead and get it out of the box so we can get some first looks at it.
PJ mentioned that their next monitor is going to have HDR. I wish I had an HDR monitor. I don't. I have old monitors.
The what?
Who makes the curved one?
I think Corsair had the curved
Yeah,
monitor, like that you could straighten out
It's
and flex
flat.
it.
Yeah.
There might
Yeah.
be some other options out there
Get
now.
two
but
of those.
Now-
Have one of them curve that way, one of them curve that way, and there's your cockpit.
There you go.
You're fully surrounded by screens. And then get the Odyssey curve thing go on top of it.
Oh yeah.
Max Webb says, have you guys announced the winner yet? No, we have not yet, but we're getting closer to there. These 27 Gaming says, when ordering a custom build, I have to put extra fans for cooler if I want all fans the same. That's the question.
It just depends on what you configure and what case it is. So if you've got a specific one you're looking at, I can probably answer that a little bit better.
Here we go. And then down below there, let's see here. So Josh M1682 says, I have a 3070 and want to upgrade to a 40 series. Would I need to upgrade my power supply?
Depending on what card you have. What did they say? They just said they had a 30 series?
3070.
3070?
Yeah.
So that 3070's probably got 1 8 or 2 8s on it, so you should be good for the new card. Now that being said, some of the newer NVIDIA cards have the new connector. Does the 30 series have that? Or was it 40 series?
Yeah, the 30 series.
30 series had it. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so like some of the intro, like 3070s,
Yeah, the intros.
had it too.
Uh-huh.
And
So-
then they kind of got rid of it for a couple of them. So like it's kind of
Yeah, it was a little
wishy-washy on,
inconsistent.
like
So-
whenever you got it determined on what was in it.
So look up the model of your card that you currently have. Now, obviously, you can look at it in your system, and you're going to have power connectors like this on this card. Now, it might just be one 16-pin connector, or you might have like 2 8s. Like this card has 3 8s, so you might be looking at it where it looks like that, or maybe one, and then just make sure the new card you have has that. But as far as like wattage and everything, whatever's powering your 3070 should be able to power a 40 series pretty well.
Okay, things are happening over here on the TikTok side. Let's go back over and check in with all of our friends on the green side. I will say this to hello to everybody on the red side. We've got Fury 4, Graham Davidson, Leon McJunkins. I love it. Welcome in, Swedish Outlander. Back over on the purples. If by Frankenstein you mean a PC made of used parts, then that's what I'm currently doing.
There you
Got
go.
it.
Woohoo!
And then Center Pro says what PC are they building and for what? This is actually for a customer build. It is for Janelle in Iowa, and this is a special gift for Janelle's husband, which is awesome.
It's a surprise. He doesn't know.
It's a surprise, so nobody tell him.
Surprise!
Like, so wait, hold on. Let me go back up to Moonkin's question. Where did that go? At CLX Gaming TV, what are some signs to look for when a GPU is at the end of its life?
Yeah, so that's going to be lower frame rate in games. You know, you download a brand new game, you're playing it. Why is my frame rate so low? Most likely it's your GPU is getting old. Then there's other signs. Obviously, if your monitor's artifacting, which is like you see like weird green and weird lines all over your monitor, that's a pretty good sign too. But if you're there, it's probably just done.
DG, do you remember when Frankenstein made a monster? I mean, I remember when Jesus rolled out that cave. Let's see here. Swedish Outlander says, I have a strange problem with my new PC. It's an RX 7700 XT with a Ryzen 5 7600X. I have two older 60 hertz monitors, and I had both of them working. But after I started the game, Starfield, now they just mirror as if I only had one. Ah.
Maybe there's a setting in Starfield. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, no, there's a setting in Windows. You want to set it so that it's an extended desktop, not a clone. You don't want to be a copy. You want an extended desktop.
Oh, I thought they were saying it's only when they launch the game.
Marcus, hello. Bill Coast says, so does CLX deliver to Canada? Abso-freaking-lutely.
All the time.
Yep. We love it. So now we've got Zach working on some fun things over here. Zach, what you doing?
So our Corsair all-in-one has a hub that it connects to. So I'm getting that all plugged in and all wired up. Trying to do it a little bit like right next to this other one.
Yeah, these Corsair coolers have a lot of wiring.
Yeah. Which is kind of nuts. The question about the worldwide giveaway for this, it is available for those people in countries that allow it. There are some countries that just don't allow it.
Worldwide
If
asterisk.
you're gambling, yeah, it's like, and so like there's several different groups. If you're in a country that's like that, yikes. Ivory lives there. He's in Canada. I won't say where, but I'll say it snows there sometimes.
He's in the A part, eh?
Eh?
God damn.
And there we go.
God. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Let's see here. Is there a list of the countries? Yes. If you head on over to our giveaway page, step exclamation giveaway right now, you can follow. And you can follow over to the link. Wait. Center says if I win the PC giveaway, then I can finally stream after years of waiting for a gaming PC. Nice.
Okay. Let's do the graphics.
All right.
Ooh, Schwarm mentions when I was deployed in Japan, I had to pay to import a PC to Japan because they didn't ship through USPS. USPS is usually great for shipping to foreign bases, especially if U.S. military bases. That's usually an easy win, but there are some places that are a little funky about that. Warbot, no, we've not announced the winner yet. Okay, now we're looking at this.
The board looks
I do love the
beautiful
gears.
with that light.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh,
the board is gorgeous. I love it.
It looks like some of our magic cards that they've been coming out with.
True.
For deployment, is Amazon or nothing usually? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Merc. That's how I got things to people on ships. One of my really good friends from my community, he decided to go into the Navy, and of course I'd been in the Navy, so we had a long conversation about it. But that was how I got him things easier, was through Amazon than it was through the USPS. All right, look at this big bad card. Look at that. That's great. You got the heartbeat on the background. Oh, I was a gunner's mate missile specialist. So anything that had to do with missiles, guns, things that go boom. Yeah. And which qualifies me to do
EOD.
nothing in the world in the real world. Like, what can you do? Make things go boom. That's not helpful. This is a retail store. Well, then crap.
You need Professor McGonagall to tell you that she needs the bridge blown up.
Yes, basically that's where we're at. Got it. This here. Do.
We need one more of these, right?
Yes.
I'll be right back.
How many is it? Just 2? Okay.
Well, first of all,
Okay.
I do want to say shout out. So Paul is Paul's Air Force.
Let's go with the smart branch.
There we go. And so you've got Air Force, Navy, for whoever has served in here and who's in our chat. Thank you so much for your service. Obviously, as fellow service people, we appreciate it and love it. Can I play for the PC even if I live in the French Caribbean? Raygun, I would believe that should be allowed. Thoughts on push-pull fans on... Oh, I am
100%.
I9 asked about thoughts on push-pull for AIOs. Here we go. I actually have a push-pull 360. So that means there's 13 fans blowing in. 13 fans total. There are 9 blowing in, 4 blowing out. But that I have to pin my green screen against the wall because the intake is so much on the back of the PC, it just sucks it right up against it. Merc without a mouth, 14 years tomorrow. Congratulations. Thank you so much for keeping us safe, and I appreciate the work you do and the risks you take, my friend. Let's see here. Fury. Fury over on the YouTube side says, when are we going to stop calling them graphics cards and start calling them graphics bricks? To be honest, that's an excellent question, my friend.
Graphics, aircraft carriers.
Right? Oh my gosh. I was actually just talking with somebody on the camping so I went camping for 3 days with the team from the club that I DJ at, and so it was my first time there with them. And there was a couple different people from different branches there, which was really cool. But we got to talk about the difference between deep sea, like when you're traveling in deep seas with your group, your battle group, and if you're on the aircraft carrier, you can get the ups and downs, but it's much more stable. If you're on a destroyer, you're doing this constantly. It's just like a nonstop. Oh my God! Did we announce the winner? Just no. People, we have not. You'll know when we announce the winner because I will pin it to the top of the Twitch and chat. There we go. Good Lord.
That's a no-go, Paul. Yeah.
So, Swedish Outlander does have a quick question. Oh no, we already answered that.
I will add links to this. And then
Windows only finds one of your screens. That's weird.
see.
All right, so Quick Brain Power has a great question coming in from the red side. It says, okay, what do you think of your highest performance laptop? Does it overheat easily? Maybe better than desktop?
I've not heard any concerns from them after I build them. I enjoy all of our laptops. They're all pretty slick. The difference between them will be I believe all of them right now are 14s. And then you can pick and choose any 40 series card, I believe, like a 60, 70, 80, and a 90. I think it's just like those 4 base levels of cards, but I enjoy all of them. They're all pretty slick.
Ryu Dragon has a great question. It says, I have a question. I have a friend with an RX 7800 XT, but he has a bit of a problem where in normal use it is okay, but as soon as you start gaming, stop moving. As soon as you start gaming or hard usage, the screen blacks out. Any clues to what could be the reason? I'm set to go to his in a few days, and I thought I would try and research to see if I could troubleshoot. Sorry for a long message. Good luck. Zach.
Bio
What do you think?
or updates. I would make sure everything's updated. All the BIOS or BIOS drivers. Well, BIOS might be fine. More like driver updates.
Yeah, video drivers maybe.
Yeah.
Make sure the fans are spinning. Sometimes they can shut off if they're getting too hot.
Sounds like a good plan.
So
I dig it.
that's part of it.
I like it a lot. Paul is back.
And it might be something weird too, because I have heard that in the past where it was like there was a driver for the monitor, and you're like, why would a monitor need a driver? And that's what was causing the problem. So just kind of go through all of your bells and whistles to make sure your Razer mice and Logitech keyboards and headsets are all updated.
Splash Prince says, when your new PC arrives but keeps turning off and on continuously. Well, I'm not sure what you mean. Need a little
You got
more
the
detail
IT
than that.
special.
Power cycling.
There you go.
Turn it off and on again.
So T-Ogs mentioned that those things might happen if you don't upgrade your power supply, but you do upgrade your graphics card. Error. Yep. If it's trying to pull too much power, it'll shut itself down. Did I get blocked in Twitch? James Olcott? I don't think so. Why would you have been? I didn't even know you were over there on the purple side.
Okay, I think that's better. That should reach to that cable now. Okay.
Fury says, I have my gaming laptop set to set on 5,000 RPM fans for extra noise. Listen, extra noise, extra XP. You know how that works.
Why do you think the PlayStations did so well?
Yes, right. Let's see here. Bad Be Live on the TikTok side says, do y'all sell entire PC setups? That's exactly what we do.
Oh, yeah.
We set the whole thing. You can actually order an entire, like literally everything you would need, including a chair, monitors, peripherals like headsets, keyboards, mice, your PC,
A modem and a
your
router.
streaming gear. Like we do routers. Like pretty much we are a one-stop shopping center.
Universal power backup batteries.
Clothing.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I would message Ivory about that. Question, if I win the PC, how do I keep up with maintenance on it so I can have it for many years to come? Good question, Shido Dragon.
That is a good question. So if you win this one, it's an NV5, so just make sure all the filters are clean while you're doing that. There's not going to be a lot you got to do with it. Just make sure, keeping it dust-free as much as possible. There's always going to be some in your PC. You don't got to keep it, sparkling clean, but just make sure you're changing your dust filters, and that's about it. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to our support team too. If it's like a year down the road and you want to know what you should do, reach out to us.
Or, because you do have the lifetime support, so as long as you own it, if you need any help done, you can give us a ring.
All right. The motherboard manual will tell you what the LED... Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you're looking at Splash Prints, if you're looking at the motherboard and it's stuck on some red lights, there's usually some printing on the board as well. That would be like CPU, mem, VDO, something like that, where then that'll be indicating the area that it's throwing a code at. And like the other person said it will be in the manual, but sometimes it's really easy to just see on there.
Okay. Sorry, hang on. My allergies are killing me, and we've got forest fire smoke coming in, and it's just nuts. What is the rated input voltage of the CXU Horus PSU?
So our Horus lines, you can pick a whole bunch of different power supplies. So that's just going to depend on the one that you pick. This customer has a Horus and they picked an 850 watt, but we've got, you know, everything from 750 to 1600 probably.
There you go. Down here we've got someone whose name I can't actually pronounce. Single Dad would love a chance to win. I agree, my dude. I agree. Everybody's want to win this. I do not know if Jimmy Yo has been, for some reason, affected over on the Twitch side. Again, that is an Ivory thing. I'll message him about that in just a few. Broken Trash Man says, question, Ryzen 3900X with the Corsair iQ H150i Elite Caply, but idles. Wait, whoa. With an H150i Elite, idles at 117 Fahrenheit with a 3080 Ti. Thoughts?
That is definitely really hot for idling. So if you've had it for a while, that is an older CPU, so you might just pull the pump off and wipe down your thermal paste to apply new thermal paste. That would be the first step I'd do there, because that is very high for idling.
Let's see here.
Excuse me.
I think it's Jimmy Yo 1972. There we go.
Okay, so we're gonna go that way. So we want to do.
Boop. There we go. Oh, will the giveaway stuff be shown or displayed later on? Yeah.
It is right here in the back of our studio. Well, maybe this chair is in the way, actually. I can't reach it. Oh, yeah.
We are definitely going to show it.
Behind us, way in the back.
Now, one thing to note that I would love to point out that we didn't really get a chance to talk about yet is that big arching frame right there. So you see that little lifted area that's in front of that first fan on the bottom? That is a power supply shroud. So, Paul, why is that? Why do we put the power supply down there in its own separate space?
Yeah, so it's just the way this case was designed. Typically, on a case like this where the power supply isn't in the back, there's usually a PSU shroud to cover it up in the bottom. And what that does is just gives the overall look of the case a little, makes it a little bit cleaner. But then it also provides its own compartment for that. So our power supply is going to get air up, intake through the bottom and shoot it out the back. So none of that will be in the main part of the case.
Base 27 streaming gaming says, I had the red lights. I just had to switch my RAMs from slots 1 and 3 to 2 and 4 on the motherboard. Yes, you should always start with 2 and 4 first. Let's see. We also have a question coming in about the 40. Wait, what? Have you guys heard anything about the 5090s? We've heard lots of things, T-Hogs. We also do not know when they're coming out.
A hook to an addition though.
Oh my dear God. AO Proto asks, what's the best way to clean an AIO?
So really there isn't much you have to do. Now your AIO, if it's on like the front of your case and it's one of your main intakes, the front of that radiator at the back can even get a little bit dusty, so you can just wipe that down with a rag. But other than that, that's pretty much it. These don't require really any maintenance at all.
Let's see here. We have an individual asking about how do you enter to win. So this giveaway has ended already. So now we're just in the final tally part. But we do giveaway PCs every month. It's a lot of fun. We do great things. You can always be at our show. Our show is 2 days a week. It is Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 11 a.m. Pacific. That's 2 Eastern. And you can find us on all the platforms just like you found us now. So definitely take advantage of that. Keep up to date. You can also check out what's going on inside of our Discord at discord.gg/CLX Gaming. Let's see. Pablo Fiasco says, my current CPU fan overhangs my slot 4 on the motherboard so much that I can't actually use it.
Some of them air coolers get pretty big.
There you go. He's back. Let's see. What do you think of Robert Downey Jr. being the new Doctor Doom? Fantastic. Sorry, I'm always going to be down for RDJ. Always.
But my immersion.
I know, right? You agree that gaming on a laptop is terrible and the fan throttles so much that it's annoying while you're gaming? Center Pro, no. I think that there is a lot of really great laptops that can be used for all sorts of great things. I had, when I was working on Outpost Discovery, when I was working with Halo and Xbox, I had an MSI and it was fantastic. Lots of fans in it. If I'm ever going to go to the laptop again, I'm going to grab one from CLX because I know that they know what the heck they're doing. This is true.
Nope.
Aspire says, what is the cheapest pre-built? Well, I would say head on over to clxgaming.com and then click on our RTS section. And that's our ready to ship. Right? Here we go.
I think it's like
$650
to $699 is usually what
Yeah, I think it's right in there.
It's pretty good. That's a pretty good purchase.
Pretty good for a starter PC.
I know.
What AIO is this build? This is a Corsair, and it is a Corsair iQ H150i Elite. They're really cool. Is it crazy as? Yes. Agreed. Let's see here. Tim Tastic says, I'm hoping to get my first PC and I'm really interested in VR on PC. Are the recommended specs for VR gaming different than regular PC gaming?
Yeah, they can be a little bit different. Really, the thing to look at there is VR is going to require some higher end hardware. So, you know, it's going to be higher end than like what a regular game, a non-VR game would require. So,
Back when VR
Shido
first
asked,
came out, my 960 was at the bottom
960.
level of VR.
yeah.
And then they came out with a couple more updates, a couple more driver updates, and my 960 was no longer VR capable.
Oh.
So you do have to kind of, I would look at your games that you're wanting to play to see what their specs are, because it is, you will need some beefier stuff to run it. And you will want some Type C's on your motherboard.
Look at that thing. It's
oh, I see what
beautiful.
you mean by fan throttling. Yeah, no, I'll be honest. As soon as that MSI thing that I had started going, it was loud. Like you could hear it on a plane over the sound of the airplane. So yeah, but you know what you can't hear is amazingly awesome places to get PCs. What is better is if you see it. So right now, let's head over because I want to show you all how you can get your hands on an amazing PC from CLX Gaming. Let's check it out. This is clxgaming.com, where we try and make everything as easy as possible for you to get the PC of your dreams. Now, you can choose from large builds to small builds. We have ATX, EATX, we have ITX, everything you can think of. We also carry AMD, Intel, NVIDIA, Radeon. We've got multiple different styles and types of RAMs. You can choose M.2s, SSDs, hard disk drives for everything, and you don't have to worry about it not matching up because we have a compatibility element in it. So, say for example, you choose a 4090, right? But you don't have a big enough power supply. The system's going to turn that little green button that you saw go from green to yellow, and it's going to say, look, all right, if you want to keep this power supply, then you can only choose one of these graphics cards. But if you're really wanting this graphics card, you have to choose one of these power supplies. And then once you've solved it, it goes right back. You can choose to have your GPU and your CPU, or your CPU, or both, overclocked. We can also get you upgraded thermal paste. You can choose between an AIO or a custom closed or open loop system, which is amazing. We've also got streaming gear like capture cards. We've got Beacon Mix Creates, Beacon Mics, t-shirts like this one, along with windbreakers and more, plus every possible peripheral you can think of. We've got mice, keyboards, headphones, mouse. Oh, I already said that one. Speakers, monitors, USB hubs, routers, and chairs. So literally a bit of everything here. So that is everything you can get. Now, for some people who might feel like this is a little bit problematic, go to the ready to ship. Ready to ship is what we have already pre-built, pre-tested, and ready to go in a box. And they start on 4 different levels. You can choose what you want it to do and take a look at how it's going to respond, how it's going to react. Take a look at its performance based on their game through 3D Mark. It is incredible. So, with that being said, for all of your future gaming or PC needs, head on over to cluxgaming.com. See how we can set you up for tomorrow.
Yeah, I love the A770.
Oh yeah.
That's a really nice graphics card.
That
That is the
all right.
graphics card that is in our free-to-play systems. So if you're ever
Gotcha.
at any of the DreamHacks or conventions, you can hop on and play.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'll see what else we are going to hop on to. We're going to hop on over to announce our winner. Ooh. Who's ready to find out who the winner is? Let's go. Our winner on Twitch is known as, wait, what? Yes, MGL1206. On X, it is Touche T. Touche T. Congratulations, you've won the giveaway. You have won an amazing giveaway from everyone over at Star Citizen and CLX. It's an incredible package. You've got yourself a brand new PC, plus you've also won the flight chair, the joysticks, the swivel mounts, the mouse extensions. You've got 4 different chips that you've got in the game, plus you've got your left grip, right grip, and you've got your flight stick with your rudder pedals. All of this is coming to you thanks to Cloud Imperium, Intel, Virpol, and MTSIM. They are incredible. Plus, don't forget CLX and Star Citizen. So congratulations. That is our winner. Now, with that being said, we're going to take a look and see what is going on with Janelle's gift. Are we ready to turn it on?
There it goes.
Oh, I love this. I love the subtlety. We'll wait for a second as the RAM gets ready to pop in there. Nice. Look at that. I love that Corsair AIO. It's fantastic. It looks wonderful. Let's go through once again everything that's on this incredible PC. This is for Janelle in Iowa, and it's a surprise gift for her hubby. So this is an NV5 Horus Black frame. It has got an AMD Ryzen 9 7950X processor, and it is on an ASRock X670E Taichi EATX with 32 gigs of DDR5 6000, that AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX, and a operating system drive that is a 1 terabyte Samsung 990 Pro M.2. Love it. Our CPU is going to be cooled by that Corsair iQH 150i. Plus, we've got 8 different Game DS Aeolus M3 ARGB fans and an 850 watt MSI power supply unit, and it's all going to be right there, which is fantastic. So congratulations. So glad we could build this online. Fury, hi, it is our winner is MGL 1206 on Twitch, otherwise known as Tush T on X on the Twitter. So congratulations. We're so glad. Now, normally we have an after show, but today we're not going to. Today we're going to jump right over to my stream, where I'm going to be jumping in to some Assassin's Creed. So this show normally happens at Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting at 11 a.m. 2 a.m. It's 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 Eastern. You can find us on all the platforms. Whenever there's a giveaway, we will drop our codes on Tuesdays over on the green side. That is kick.com/CLXgaming. On Thursdays, we would drop codes on the Twitch side, which is twitch.tv/CLXgaming TV. And then, of course, you can find us on all these other amazing platforms. And I want to say thank you so much for everybody who came by and had a blast. Gentlemen, thank you so much for building a beautiful PC. I love it. You can catch up with all the latest and greatest of what's happening with CLX Gaming at our socials. That is YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and that is at CLX Gaming. You can find us on Discord with a bunch of other like-minded PC enthusiasts and gamers, and that is at discord.gg/CLX Gaming. And then, yeah, the other place you can sometimes find codes are on my streams, but that's not happening right now because we just gave the PC away, and I'm super glad. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you to Kyle and Jason in production, and on behalf of Paul and Zach, I'm DJ Blue PDX. I will see you on my channel in just a few minutes. Thanks for watching.
Bye.